Welcome to Sumner School Business Immigration Basics. In this video, we're talking about how the employer can establish the ability to pay in an I-140 petition. So remember from our previous video that this is one of the key aspects of the I-140 petition that is based on a perm labor certification filing. It's one of the key elements that the employer has to show. More specifically, the employer has to document that they have the ability to pay the proffered wage. The proffered wage is the prevailing wage, or it can be higher, whatever they are offering the beneficiary. This wage has to be paid not now necessarily, but at least as of the time that the beneficiary, the foreign national who's benefiting from this process, receives their green card, which could be in years from now. But the employer still has to show that they have the ability to pay this amount as of the date that the labor certification is filed. So it's a little confusing because we're showing that the employer has the ability to pay this amount, the prevailing wage, or if they're offering higher, the proffered wage, as of the date that the labor certification was filed. But we submit this documentation when we submit the I-140 petition, which is the second stage of the process. So what documentation can an employer use to show that they have the ability to pay this proffered wage? There are three main ways that a petitioner, and when I use the word petitioner and employer, I'm using them interchangeably. Three main ways that a petitioner can establish the ability to pay. One is by submitting documentation to show that the beneficiary is already earning at least that amount. So for example, the employer can submit pay stubs or W-2s. Typically, we submit both if they are available. If the beneficiary is already working for that company, the employer that is sponsoring them for the green card process, and if they're already earning that amount. Easy enough. That's a great way to establish ability to pay. What if your beneficiary is not earning the proffered wage yet? So you're meeting any other underlying requirements, let's say in terms of the current non-immigrant status that the person is on. For example, if they're on H-1B or TN or another visa classification, you're meeting those requirements, but you're not paying them the amount that the Department of Labor said you have to pay them as of the time that they receive the green card. In that case, a company can use a few different documents. They can use either their most recent federal tax returns, audited financial statements, or an annual report. So that is available a lot of times if a company, for example, but not limited to if a company is publicly traded. So again, audited financial statements, tax returns, and annual report. In those documents, USCIS will look at either the net income, so we're talking about the profit, literally the bottom line, or the net current assets. Current is an accounting term. That means we're looking at specific numbers on Schedule L of the federal tax return or an analogous section of the audited financial statements or the annual report. But again, we're looking at net current assets, which again is a specific financial term. We can help you walk through that to determine if that would be helpful for your particular situation. It's important to note that it is possible to combine. Let's say that you are paying the beneficiary right now, but you are $10,000 short, for example, and showing the ability to pay. It is possible to use the beneficiary's income and either the company's net income or net current assets. It's not possible to combine a company's net income and net current assets to show ability to pay. In some instances, it's possible if there's an anomaly in one particular year to show totality of the circumstances. That's a lot less cut and dry, and there is some risk to that and a lot of strategy to that. As I said, it's important that you are able to show the ability to pay as of the date that the labor certification is filed. So you're looking back in time and showing that you have had the ability to pay that proffered wage as of the date that the labor certification was filed and going forward. So clearly, this is a critical element that we have to establish in the I-140 petition process. In our processing of cases and labor certification-based filings like this, we make every effort to make sure towards the beginning of the labor certification process that the employer will have the ability to pay the proffered wage. So we may ask for the employee's pay stubs, W-2s, for the employer's tax returns. The reason is we want to make sure that we're not going to have a problem down the road. I hope you found this information helpful, and if so, please share it with a friend or a colleague. My name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law, serving clients throughout the United States and around the world with employment-based and family-based immigration matters. Until next time.